Undertale, the true power of the soul. Hi everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be reacting to one of the early uploads from the YouTube channel The Game Terrorists. I'm a huge fan of their work and I hope that you will like this video as well. This video came out in year 2014, so I think it's around... sorry, what am I saying? 2017, so it's around 4 years ago. So anyways, let's start.
Dear Toby Fox. Hi!
Hi Toby Fox.
It's me! Austin! Ugh, sorry. I'm trying to act pumped, but I am so freaking exhausted. Can I level with you, Toby? You know why I'm so tired? VidCon, which was fun, but there's flying and landing, and I made a mistake. Toby! Toby, I made a mistake! I took my baby with me. What was I thinking?
The baby is so cute. That's so cute. No, I think so too.
You think convention flu is just a thing that adults get? Nope! So, yeah. I've been running on a total of about 10 hours of sleep for the past 5 days, coddling a screaming baby, fighting getting sick myself and failing, while also trying to bring the magnificent world of science to Undertale.
Maybe you can get an assistant or something, like, I don't know, friends, yeah. Anyways, let's continue.
There aren't enough stimulants in the world to make up for that amount of sleep deprivation, but I'm powering through, Toby!
It's unhealthy, you know. Anyways, remember, 6 to 8 hours of sleep for an adult. So, yeah. Like, even the armed forces recommend 7 hours of uninterrupted rest. So, you know.
I've downed about 20 cups of coffee before hopping into the booth to record this, so today we're gonna let anxiety attacks carry the team as I follow in the footsteps of Alphys and Gaster by using the power of science to unwrap the mysteries of the soul in Undertale. And I have done it!
What? The true power of the soul?
And in so doing, I have uncovered a deep, dark secret about the underground that I'm convinced nobody but the oldest residents of the kingdom knows. I know I'm courting disaster by doing a video on Undertale, and the Undertale fandom has been notoriously unfriendly to theories from this channel, but I have to let y'all know, this is still, like, seriously, to this date, one of my favorite games of all time. I think I've listened to every remix and cover of the soundtrack on YouTube, since they're my go-to tracks for writing and researching science episodes, and I've been wanting to do an episode on this game for forever.
True, I have to agree. The cover for them is actually quite nice to listen to.
But I just couldn't find a way to do it. I mean, it's a magical adventure slash dark horror fantasy RPG game. It's not like it's really filled with a bunch of stone cold science to examine. But then I came to a realization. Science isn't just a set of rules and regulations for how the world works. Science is a methodology. Science is a way to understand everything that exists as objectively as possible.
Yes, correct. What you just said is actually what textbooks say, so yeah. Yeah.
Science is about making the immeasurable measurable, the unquantifiable quantified. So instead of trying to take the science out of Undertale, today we're gonna bring the science to Undertale.
gonna bring it.
I began my journey into the underground to answer two questions. One, how powerful is a soul? And two, what exactly allows Toriel's and Asgore's souls to live, albeit temporarily, outside of their bodies? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't answer that question. There simply isn't enough data, but
it's just a game. Fictional game, you know.
while trying to figure this out, I uncovered something way more awesome. But before we get to that, let's refresh ourselves on what we know about souls in Undertale. So, souls. We don't know exactly what a soul is. We know that there are 6 human ones in boxes in Asgore's castle, taken from 6 humans that fell into the underground before us. We know that souls take the shape of hearts. A book in the Snowden Library says that monster souls are made of love, hope, and compassion.
It's like giving heart to them. It's like... Anyways.
But that's not super reliable, and even this entry admits that humans don't need these things anyway. Regardless, it's a pretty consistent theme in the game over and over again that monster souls are weaker than human souls by a pretty significant margin. It's mentioned a couple of times in dialogue, and most importantly on the ancient glyphs in the waterfall area, where it says specifically that it'd take the soul of nearly every monster to equal the power of one human soul. Human souls can persevere after death due to their determination, which most monsters lack in abundance, except for, presumably, boss monsters, of which there are only 2 known, Asgore and Toriel. Their souls
2 boss monsters. Makes you think, right?
linger on for a little bit longer after they die. Importantly, monsters are capable of absorbing the souls of humans. It's this ability that led to the human sphere of monsters to begin with, and what led them to go to war against them and ultimately seal the monsters in the underground. The war, of course, was a massacre, and supposedly no human souls were ever taken by any monsters. Anyway, that's what we know as far as what the game tells us, but there's more information unspoken. Undertale hides a ton of its story in the mechanics, so it's time we throw on our hard hats, grab our calculator drills, and go data mining.
Data mining.
As I said before, my entire quest started because I was trying to figure out how strong souls in Undertale are. We don't get a ton of direct numerical indicators of what exactly a soul does or doesn't do. I compared every number in the game, built several cross-sectional amalgamated metrics, and did find some really interesting correlations between EXP and the various stats, but at the
Wait, what? Why do you do so many? Why? It's just a game. Like, come on. Seriously. Come on. It's just a game.
At the end of the day, there's not enough evidence to really connect any of these data points to a quantifiable measurement of soul strength. After all, the in-game lore states that a monster's strength is more indicative of their willingness to fight than anything else, which is why so many monsters take more damage the more you hit them, and why tons of bosses die in one hit if you're doing a genocide playthrough. So as cool as this is, it doesn't give us what we need. Days of research rendered irrelevant in mere moments!
Ooh, wow. Days of research rendered relevant. Ouch.
But I'm not one to be done in by one failure, even if that failure came while I was fighting off pneumonia over several days. If you drill a bit deeper into the game's code past where Toby Fox ever wanted any of us to see, there are 2 secrets that reveal more about the history of the underground than any book. And both these secrets lie with Flowey. Specifically, both of the boss fights with him. And I know this seems strange, but the fights with Flowey reveal more about the world of Undertale than I could have possibly imagined. The first fight you have against him, not counting the one during the introduction of the game, is during a neutral run of the game. Flowey absorbs the 6 human souls and transforms into Photoshop Flowey, a veritable...
What? I'm sorry, what? Photoshop Flowey. What? Anyways.
Collage of nightmare fodder. He regains his ability to save and load and, horrifyingly, gains the power to create save states, something ordinarily reserved for video game emulators. It's here that we get our first glimpse into the power of souls in Undertale. In order to win this boss fight, you have to sever Flowey's connection to each of the 6 human souls, and it's here that things get interesting. You see, each time you sever his connection to a soul, his defense drops until eventually it reaches 0. This means unlike any other place in the entire game, we have a direct metric for souls to strength. Of course, irritatingly, the data for this particular fight is difficult to find. I couldn't find it, and nowhere else online is it available. All we know for certain is that Flowey's defense drops to 0 when his connection to all the souls is severed. So, we're screwed, right? Wrong. While we don't have back-end data to use, what we do have is front-end data that we can use to extrapolate back-end data. How? Trigonometry and log functions, son. You see, each time you sever Flowey's connection to a soul, you can do increasingly more damage to him. Using average damage done per phase and knowing that at 0 souls, his defense drops to 0, and comparing this data to another endgame boss, Asgore, we can build a functioning model for how damage and defense correlate, then expand that into an exponential function that ties souls to defense.
Wow, he's actually using log. Wow. I don't necessarily use log in my daily life. In fact, when was the last time I used log? Yeah, wow, he's actually using log. Huh.
And what do we learn? Souls are freaking awesome. Going from 0 to 1 soul gives someone a huge boost in strength, followed by slow gains from there on out that increase exponentially. As you start to get higher and higher, each soul gives you more of a boost as opposed to diminishing returns. But why is this important? Well, it's not by itself, but when you combine this formula with the second fight with Flowey, or more specifically Asriel Dreemurr, the results are trufflin', kerfufflin', terrifying. Okay, I'm sorry, Carter, I try. It's just ice cream names don't have the punch I'm looking for. But while I'm here, can we just talk for a second about the terribleness of some Ben & Jerry's flavors? Toothpaste and orange juice? Sweaty balls? What the heck is wrong with you?
Well, technically speaking, it is creative, isn't it?
Anyway, in the neutral playthrough, you beat Flowey, get an ending, yada yada yada, then you go back. If you didn't kill anybody your whole way through, you do some side missions, go through some extra areas, including the super frickin' creepy True Lab where Alphys experimented with determination and created the not okay amalgamates, then finally, you get your happy endings, sorta. First, you gotta beat Flowey all over again, but this time, he hasn't just absorbed the human souls. He's absorbed the souls of everything in the underground. If you check for his stats, it says that he has infinity defense and infinity attack. He is the god of hyperdeath after all, but if you look through the data like we did before, we discover that his defense is an actual number, which makes sense. Infinity isn't really a number, not one easily integrated into a video game without crashing your computer anyway.
Yes, not crashing your computer anyways.
We find is that his defense is 9,999. Knowing this and having our trusty formula at the ready, we can actually figure out how many souls worth of power this is. Luckily, as we mentioned before, the more souls you absorb, the bigger the boost to your power, so it shouldn't be too many more than Flowey had during the first fight when his defense was a little over 2,000. What we find when we plug the numbers in is that on top of the 6 human souls Asgore has sitting in his basement, Flowey has absorbed 7.687 human souls worth of power. And this is frickin' earth-shattering. Why? Because we've already established that A, the souls of monsters are incredibly weak. Best case scenario, all the souls of monsters equate to roughly the amount of 1 human soul, and B, monsters can absorb human souls. Just these 2 facts alone should be chilling you to your core. If every monster combined equals roughly 1 human soul, where is all this extra power coming from? That still leaves 6.687 souls. Well, I think I know exactly where it's coming from.
Is it from the 6 graves? Coffins?
7 human mages created the barrier that locks monsters inside the underground, and only the power of 7 human souls can shatter the barrier. Interesting, isn't it, that it requires the power of 7 human souls, and all said and done, every monster combined equals not 1, but over 7 humans worth of souls themselves? What does this mean? Simple. The human versus monster war, the one you learn about from those ancient glyphs, monsters aren't quite as innocent as they would lead you to believe. Think about it. You can go through the game as a pacifist, get that feel-goody ending you crave, but the monsters? They don't care. Bunches of them straight up try to murder you all the time. Everywhere you go, you have to go out of your way to not defend yourself, and even then, they can kill you. Undyne, the big old hero of the monster, literally terrorizes you through the waterfall. And Gerson, that craggy old turtle selling stuff, this dude fought in the war and was known as the Hammer of Justice. If humans killing monsters was supposed to be such a slam dunk, how on earth are there any survivors? Because absolutely and undeniably, monsters definitely and totally used to hunt humans before they were banished to the underground. Think about it. Gerson, who's approximately 8,000 years old, was able to hold his own against humans. Asgore is so strong he can destroy your mercy option. Undyne has a capacity for determination that far surpasses any character that isn't you or Flowey. And Sans has the ability to manipulate space-time and in-game mechanics. These precious, lovable creatures definitely and totally murdered humans for their souls when they were above ground. And while the combined efforts of humans were able to repel them to the underground, make no mistake, monsters are freaking dangerous. It took 7 mages to lock the monsters away because, hey, there's 6 human souls floating around inside the bodies of the various monsters. They may be diluted at this point, but they're still there. And after you complete your totally adorable true pacifist ending, who knows? I bet you anything that another war breaks out after a monster tries to become the next god of hyperdeath. Who knew? Secretly, all along, the real twist was that monsters aren't the good guys. Monsters aren't cute. The monsters of Undertale, well, they're monsters. And
Well, they're monsters. True. The monsters are monsters.
they're a real threat to humanity. Sincerely, Austin.
Sincerely.
Thank you everyone for watching my video on Undertale.
Thank you so much for watching this video also.
I know I sound super vivacious
Why did I say also? Also, thank you so much for watching this video also.
and just so powerful, but I am dying on the inside. Oh, follow me on Twitter, AR Horrigan, where I'll talk about some of my numbers from today. Subscribe to the Game Theorists for more videos from me. If I don't die, if I don't die.
But anyways, do take care of your health, be safe, and yeah, stay fit and healthy. Anyways, if you do like this video, please consider to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Yes, so it is like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, I guess, yeah. And also, the video that I just reacted to came from the YouTube channel The Game Theorists. Their videos are awesome, and I hope that you will check that out as well. So yeah, and I will see you next time. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Yes, I know it is the science of, but you know, I just have to say the word, the phrase, but hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.